but I still get anxious as far as like what card is going to be inside that pack.
No matter how you got into it, whether it was, a long time ago or recently, it's like everyone has this love for Pokemon.
There are kids that exist because their parents got together over Pokemon.
Waking up 7 a.m. watching Pokemon on the TV, then opening packs, then playing the game. It was just non-stop Pokemon.
Even our non-holo would excite me, so as long as if it had a cool character on it, I was happy.
When I see any of a Pokemon card, especially the back of a Pokemon card, a flush of memories, and I guess the keyword is nostalgia, it floods in, and it makes me think of all the amazing times that I had growing up collecting and playing the card game with friends. So my name is Leonhart, or Lee, and I open lots of shiny cardboard.
I'm Vivian Frank. I collect a lot of things, one of them being like Pokemon, and then I have like a Pokemon channel on YouTube.
Well, I'm Frosted Caribou, and I've been creating Pokemon content for 2 years now on YouTube.
So my name's Randolph. I'm a artist, musician, but I also collect Pokemon cards as well.
I am Joe Merrick. I run Serebii.net, which is one of the world's foremost Pokemon websites dealing with anything you can think of regarding Pokemon.
My favorite card would have to be the Slowpoke Psyduck Tag Team GX. It's like the derpiest looking card you'll ever see.
As for my favorite card, it would probably be this one.
Oh, wow.
The Crystal Serebii from the Skyridge set, which came out here in 2003, I believe.
I have to be like the Charizard from Unbroken Bonds, because that's what really brought me back into opening Pokemons like I do today. Like, I actually have it graded here. Shall I show you?
Yeah, sure.
I've got a lot of cards still to submit, etc. So obviously you'll have like Hidden Fates, Charizards, and we've pulled like 8 of them so far. This card right here.
Oh, wow.
This might be the one I pulled. I don't know. I pulled 3 in total. That's the problem.
How much is that entire box worth?
I think the total came to about 12k.
So I'm 34 years old. So I started right when Pokemon first came out. Back in the late 90s, with the TV show I would watch on Saturday mornings with friends. Then we would trade the Pokemon TCG game, and of course the iconic Game Boy games as well. Red and blue started with those. And so, back in the late 90s, it started with all of that.
My neighbor was a Pokemon professor who used to run like a Pokemon club every single week for the like local community. My mom would just buy booster boxes for him. So I know most people used to just get a pack from like the sweet shop, where we used to get boxes like I do now, and we just open box of the box. So yeah, even to this day now, my mom collects all the new sets. So she gets a binder from our store. She gets boxes from our store, and she'll just go and put them all in. She's got more full sets than I have. She finishes every set.
I think Pokemon is like a great way for kids to learn in like an alternate way. It touches on literally every comprehension skill a kid could need. There's reading, there's memory, remembering, what a card does when you draw it. There's math when you're keeping track of the damage counters, or, you attack for 70 and you have 30 HP. What? Are you knocked out? Just how happy they are to be playing. They don't even realize, oh, I'm actually doing math right now.
One of the best things about it is it's social, and it helps bring people together to play the game, to trade cards, trade in the games, and it's just such a friendly thing. You don't have as much trash talking as you would in other series, and it's just so comforting and nice. It's just happy.
It's all about, in my opinion, the bond that you make with people in Pokemon, whether that's your friends or not. But for me, it's like always like my mum. And then when I'm seeing people in the community now, or people who buy cards from the store, like when you see parents and their kids having that relationship through Pokemon, that's what is the best thing for me. It's nice to see like families and especially parents and like the kids like bonding between it. That's how I started. That's how I hope to kind of like inspire people to continue, really.
I bonded with my dad opening them up way back when I would get a base set pack at the end of the week after doing well in school for that week. I want that same feeling of being able to open up the packs with a father and son, daughter and mother, child. And so that's what I want to give by opening up a shop that feels and hopefully maybe even smells like whatever that smells like. Kind of like an original card shop from the late 90s, early 2000s, where when you walk in, you're transported back to that time. And then, of course, the Pokemon TCG in their original boxes, in their original blister packs, hung up on the shelves, just like a shop from way back when. Thousands and thousands of packs that I'm personally donating myself to give people that option to when they walk in. They'll limit it, of course, to give as many people a chance, but base set 2, gym challenge, gym heroes, and then you can open it on the spot and potentially have it graded on the spot as well too. It's a big endearing, a big thing, but something that if and when it does happen, I think would be probably the biggest event in history for Pokemon. I'm very optimistic and hopefully happy to say that.
The community is what makes Pokemon fantastic. Without the community, Pokemon World Championships, that wouldn't be as good as it is. The general tournaments, like one of the best things you can do is there are pre-release tournaments before every set, and you can just go to your local game shop and just compete with the upcoming set. Everyone's on the same level, and it's just always such a fun thing to just play with other people, meet other people.
Because I come from both sides of collecting and playing, is like when I went to a regional where people just competitively play, that's like all they do. So they'll just buy a whole deck, practice, play, and then once it's like bad or irrelevant, they just sell the deck. And that's why when someone gets a good deck that they're actually winning with, then they bling it out. So they buy max rarity because they're like, I'm gonna wreck you with this super blinged out deck that's worth like $2,000. They just use it as a total flex. I can't do it because I am a collector, so I'm like, heck no, I'm never putting a card that, you know, you're not gonna get very often that is in great condition into a sleeve and playing with it. Like, no way.
Literally, you see all walks of life be into Pokemon. Like, you have millionaires buying up Pokemon, you know what I mean? Like, you can be anyone. You'll be surprised how many people in like the streetwear community actually collect Pokemon. Like, there's a lot of people, because everyone obviously, like, no matter if you're like a footballer or if you like sneakers, like you might have bought Pokemon back in the day. I've always had this strange connection to Pokemon. I've always, if I saw a pack on the shelf, I'd always buy it in the last few years. Like, I wouldn't even know what was in the set. Anything. Like, I was pulling rainbow rares and I didn't even know it was anything special. So, like, I've always just bought Pokemon. I don't know why. I'm just like a big kid. Like, I still go to like Comic Cons and stuff.
Who knows what's going to happen like, with the future of Pokemon? Like, will it continue to rise and rise, not only in value but most importantly popularity? And I think the answer is yes. Like, the TCG is blown up this year, but Pokemon as a community, a fan base has been thriving for years. You know, it really has been, like, online. I mean, the foundation is there for it to continue to snowball and just continue to rise in popularity. But with that being said, no matter what, whether it's in the highs or the lows, I'll still be here no matter what and enjoying the hobby. And I'm sure the true collectors out there will be as well. So it doesn't matter to me, you know. I'm here for the Pokemon, man.
The direction that I hope Pokemon goes in, and for the next 25 years too, is I hope that the whole narrative of more collectors than players changes. I hope that there's more, at least equal to, maybe not more, but at least equal amount of players to collectors, because I am just so passionate about playing Pokemon and I want to share that with everyone and help people get into that and experience like a whole different connection to the hobby.
I just think for, anybody new that's coming to the Pokemon TCG world, always try to just get informed as much as possible as far as one, you want to find out how much your old cards are worth that are like in the closet or something like that. Don't get too excited, but at the same time, just do your due diligence. Find some respective authorities in the Pokemon world, trusted shops, trusted names, and just get as much information as you can just before, stepping into the world of Pokemon. But what I can say is you're really going to enjoy it, and it is a lot of fun, especially for those that collected it, when it first came out. So hopefully you stick around for the long journey.